Alright, where we left off. I'm so tired today. I stayed up so late. So I got a little bit of that headache you get when you're tired. But I do want to play, we are in, I think we're in the atrium. So I think, yeah, we're going to Aromas. Letting him know we've slain all his ops, all his foes. The Emperor protects. Your request has been filled. The cultist den in the Shadow Quarters has been cleared out. Got big boy reputation. A grim smile brightens his features, and he makes the sign of the Aquila. I hope that their suffering was commensurate? I hope their suffering was commensurate with their deeds. I feel like that just reads weird. So we got XP, we got some faction. I don't want to say this, but it might lead to something. I feel like he might just diss me and be like, oh, you think you're too good, I don't move, blah 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 blah. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. There's no reason for me to go somewhere else with him. So what else do we want to do? I want to go back to the ship for one. And heal up. Da 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 da. Alright, so Void Dock Alpha Roll. That be dock, right? I need to go to some kind of dock. I spent so long chopping up one of the songs in the last fight because it didn't sound right. It didn't sound too good. Opticon, yep, I remember being next to him. I don't think I'm good enough to figure out the password to that package over here. I feel like I haven't seen much clues so far. Alright. Oh! Heinrichs! A familiar figure turns to you, Heinrichs van Kalox, interrogator of the Ordo Xenos. Bows his head respectfully, Lord Captain. Honored interrogator, what a surprise. Did you perchance leave something in your cabin? Not at all, First Officer Wersarian. I'm not in the habit of leaving a trail, but I thank you for your concern. I think we are pleased to see him again. Greetings, interrogator. To what do I owe the pleasure of this latest visit? I am pleased to see you again, Heinrichs. Heinrichs allows himself a hint of a smile. I'm glad to hear that my presence aboard your ship did not leave you with any unpleasant memories. I didn't say all that. I hope your disposition won't change once I have explained the reason for my visit. I was able to contact my mentor and report the tragic events that transpired on Rykad Minoris. I also received some information from my agents regarding the movements and actions of enemies of humanity, including the Xenos that we're assuming were involved in the theft of the star. According to their findings, the threat now hangs over other worlds. this time yours, Lord Captain. Heinrichs clears his throat and begins in a pointedly official tone. By the order of Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar, whose duty is to stand sentinel over the Cronus Expanse, the rogue trader of House von Valancius is to take on board the agent of the Most Holy Inquisition and provide escort and wait, he's giving me a mission? Is to take on board the agent of the Most Holy Inquisition and provide escort and support in deeds great and small that serve to safeguard the territories of the Imperium against its enemies. This decree is effective immediately upon announcement and remains in effect until decided otherwise by His Excellency Calcazar. Who's Calcazar? Idra whispers, is barely audible. All I got from it is that ridding ourselves of this snitch won't be easy. Heinrichs, would you mind translating the torrent of verbiage? Is that verbiage? Or verbiage? Alright, we gotta find out. Verbiage, right? Verbiage. Yeah, verbiage. Language that is very complicated and contains a lot of unnecessary words. You just unleashed upon me. I can't really say no, can I? What exactly caused this need to rejoin my crew? Let's say this. The cause is the activity of humanity's enemies, including the cult of the Final Dawn. In my absence, the situation in the Cronus Expanse has changed. I have received an exhaustive report from my agents. This heresy has taken root in the region where the von Valancius worlds lie. You probably already know about the fate of the industrial world of Kyber Gamma. If not, then I will share what details I know, but not here. Better to talk on board where we will not be overheard. Heinrichs, would you mind? No. Wait, didn't I say that? No. I, rogue trader Sir Deepest von Valancius, welcome the agent of the Golden Throne aboard my ship and take on the responsibility of assisting him in the fight against the evil that threatens humanity. I don't want to say all that out loud though, right? A sanctioned psycho with an inquisitorial rosette? Alright, what's that? Rosette or Rossetti?
Rosette.
Rosette, a flower-shaped decorative object cut into wood or stone. I see. Or one made of ribbon. Narrow cloth strips worn as a sign that you support a particular team or political party, or that you have won a race, etc. Oh, one of those ugly looking things. Where am I? I'm not fond of the methods used by the Inquisition, but I will assist you in any way I can. I object to such an abuse of power by the Inquisition. I am a rogue trader, not some peasant to be pushed around. I don't think we want to fight with the Inquisition, and I don't want to say the big thing. I'm gonna say this. No, let's say this. I didn't really get this. Let's say this. Not the most common response to the news that I will be constantly breathing down your neck. You aren't wrong though. I prefer to repay favors in kind. Assist me by ensuring that my work is unobstructed, and I will assist you in return. I must also deliver this to you. Heinrichs pulls out a sealed letter. The Lord Inquisitor specified that the contents of this envelope are for your eyes only. I would ask you to read it as soon as you have time. Letter from Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar. Okay, so he's a Lord Inquisitor. That is everything for the time being. Are you headed to the ship or do you still have business on foot for? Whatever the case, I can either wait for you on board or accompany you as part of your retinue. Was Idra doing good stuff for me? We only need one, what's it called? Perils of the Warp going off. Talk to Heinrichs about the cult of the final dawn. Yeah, we still gonna whoop them, yeah? Yeah. Oh, Arch Militant. I think I might just do this. Does he use weapons though? Shit. It's a hard decision. Did I give him weapon? Damn, he has nothing on. Medium flak vest. Let's upgrade him. Medium 35. That's pretty much the same. This is slightly better, I think. That's way better. So he can't wear all targets of Taunton Scream suffer 16 penalty to their willpower test against disability. Ooh. When the wearer kills a target with an exploit using AC or no. So let's just give him this. Let me quickly sort my guy out. What is this? You feel me? That headpiece is horrible though. How do we turn that off? Okay. And hands, what's he got? These gloves allow the wearer to parry attacks with their ranged weapon. Do I give this guy a ranged weapon and just make him switch? I think I'm gonna do it, you know? I don't even know if that'll be better for him. Unyielding beacon, I don't know if he has that. Well, I could put this on him and make him go assassin. Actually, it doesn't really matter. Does he have unyielding beacon though? Yeah, why not? What else? So, should I give this guy a shotgun? Or 2 pistols? Sheesh. Is that better? Rebel sniper rifle, rise pattern. No. 18 to 16. Uh, 8 to 16. My bad. What am I saying? 18 to 16. I feel like he should just dual wield this.
I don't have
Oops.
time for this.
He needs feet. So I need to give this guy a weapon, right? Or just other swords. Just other swords, right? Sorry, let me read that thing. Attack that is of a different type from their previous attack. Different type. Type single shot melee. Attack single target or burst area melee. Area ranged. So could I do melee area melee? Does that count? I think it does, you know. You know what, we'll pick this so we can learn about it. And we'll try melee area melee, melee area melee, see if that works. And if it doesn't, we'll just equip a weapon on him, you know. For now, we'll equip a weapon on him now. Just in case, give him a little shotty. $18 to $22. Love me a little shotgun though. Whoa, what's this? 4 sword. Oh, this is what he started off with, I think. Amber 12 to 16. So that's an upgrade. $8 to $13. Warhammer sounds crazy. Jesus. Oh, he doesn't have a second. 11 to 17. Thunder Slam. Let's get it. We're looking good. What is this trinket? Okay. So, I should probably try to understand how to read this objectives list. Prologue, chapter 1 done. We're on chapter 2, Tattered Spirit, Bridge, Bon Valencia. So, what's this? Wait for the situation to resolve itself. The Lord Captain decided against going to the dangerous location in person. Oh, I didn't really want to decide that. Damn. I want to change that. Footfall is experiencing severe shortages. If the situation is not remedied soon, a dramatic fall in the station's population is likely. I think from the Agri World Janus. So maybe we have to go there. Alright, so we're gonna try to go to the we're gonna try to go to World Janus. And we're gonna go to gonna go to the bridge.
Victory awaits.
I think I can only do one recording today. I just upload past recordings I've done. I've got them kind of stacked up. Because I don't upload straight away. Kind of lazy with it. Lord Captain, the inspection of the ship's systems is complete. I can't help but see a dude. I think they say she, right? The tech priests are reporting the machine spirits. The tech priests are reporting the machine spirits are calm, okay, and satisfied. Everything is ready for onward travel, except there is an issue you must be made aware of. Cassia makes a quick nervous gesture, adjusting the adornment over her third eye. I have been studying the records left by the vessel's previous navigator. I got experience. I wanted to double check the route to Dargonus and discovered that it does not match the one recorded in the atlas. It is more than a minor warp fluctuation. The route has been wiped out. It can no longer be used for traveling. To make matters worse, I started checking the paths from the atlas, one after the other, and saw the same thing everywhere. The warp is roiling with an ominous storm, bursting with vivid and screaming colors. It will not hinder our movement, but all previous knowledge is now utterly useless. Argenta angrily chops the air with a side of her palm. Warp storms are our enemies, just like heretics and daemons. It is a shame they can't be dispersed with a flamer or a bolter. Now we can be certain that problems with astropathic communication in the Cronus Expanse are no coincidence. There is a warp disturbance in your way, Lord Captain. It is swallowing messages and disrupting familiar routes. This means you need to locate the keywords of the Von Valancius Protectorate as soon as possible. I am talking about Janus, Dragonus, and Kyber Gamma. Charting new routes so they can be reached and restoring control will be the necessary next step. Man, if we go into warp, everyone on Footfall is just gonna die, yo. We're gonna be in there for like 10 years. What would the consequence of losing contact with these worlds be? Tell me about Janus. The surface of Janus was altered extensively, so the planet could be designated on Agri-World. It is a powerful food base capable of supplying the burgeoning developing quickly is what it means. The burgeoning protectorate and exporting provisions to the outer world at the same time. Janus owes much of its prosperity to the governor house of Vet. Under its leadership, the world has grown ever more prosperous, year after year, securing shipments and taxes while keeping the workforce tightly controlled. What is Kyber Gamma? Industrial world. Kyber Gamma is being managed by the governor house of Gaprak and supplies your protectorate with rare mineral resources. Additionally, the planet features an Adeptus Mechanicus manufactorum that processes materials and prepares them for shipment. I testify that Kyber Gamma is a world marked by the Omnissiah's patronage. By his grace, the manufactorums of the colony are inhabited by committed and industrious machine spirits. Heinrichs coughs quietly. Mistress Tolliman neglected to mention that the Kyber Gamma manufactorum also supplies heavy machinery, from forage harvesters to vessel systems and components. Alvalar turns his hard eyes on Heinrichs. You display commendable knowledge of our world's manufacturing capability, Van Calox. Pleased to be of service. What do I need to know about Dargonus? Dargonus is the heart and soul of your protectorate. It is where the main administrative resources and storage facilities are, and so is the Von Valancius Palace. If you would like to know, this is where you will publicly accept the title of Rogue Trader. Dragonus is a major administrative hub that runs the cargo fleet and keeps track of finances. So we gotta go there to get our title. Alvalad, what is your opinion? Which world should we deal with first? We are going to Janus. Very well, our course is clear. Do my officers have any other issues that require immediate attention? I don't really want to ask him, man, but I don't want him to get mad when I don't do what he says. And obviously we can only choose one or two. Rediscovering the agri-world will supply your protectorate with something none of your servants can do without: sustenance. The importance of basic supplies should not be underestimated. Just look at Footfall in its current pitiful state. On the other hand, I am concerned by the rumors concerning Kyber Gamma. There have been no problems on Janus for many years, but something is very wrong with the industrial world right now. Delay may cost us the entire planet. I trust I do not have to explain the capital world. Losing it would make us the laughingstock of the other dynasties. Besides, the loss of chronicles and ledgers would spell a bureaucratic catastrophe. So all three systems are equally vital to the Protectorate. It falls to you to decide which should be brought into the fold before the rest, Lord Captain. Oh my god, there's no right answer. That is all, Lord Captain. The vessel and the crew await your instructions and are ready to depart. Footfall immediately, should you so desire. Alright, so what's the logic here? The logic is that the capital is probably fine. They should have deep guys over there. If they don't, they deserve to fall. Okay? I don't care. I'm a rogue trader. I'll just fly my ship everywhere else. So we have Janus, the food. Everybody needs that. Footfall needs that, but we definitely need that. And we've got the mining place, or I forgot what the other place was. Industrial world. Won't let me highlight it. That's crazy. I think this is where they make their machines and stuff, right? And it might be getting overrun or something. I think is what they're saying. Not sure if I'm following, but I definitely want to go get the food, and then we're gonna go to the Protectorate last. The administrative planet last. They should be fine. It's ridiculous if they're not. Oh, there was someone I was meant to talk to on the ship, I think. Lord Captain, we are once more within reach of the Von Valancius Protectorate. Of utmost urgency is restoring communication with your planets and bestowing the wisdom of your decrees upon their stewards, developing colonies, claiming new territories, and establishing trade links. All this is now your privilege and burden. Get out my face. The Cronus Expanse is a vast region of space where you will travel between different star systems. In each system, unique events can occur. By steering your flagship towards them, you can explore planets, study anomalies, and interact with other ships. Got it. Let me go back on my ship. Back to the bridge. There's two things I want to do. I think there's someone I need to talk to on the ship. And I want to test out what happens when I say I want more people to fight. So let's go see what he says when I say I want more people. Very curious. I wish to bolster my retinue with skilled fighters. Rest assured, there are people of the most outstanding talents among the thousands of your crew. I will contact the overseers at once. Custom character. I see. This is if I just don't like the party I have now. Accept. Okay, cool. We don't want to do that. Cronus Expanse map. So there's someone I wanted to talk to. I just don't remember who it is. Companion quests. Astray. Argenta, that's it. Heinrichs. Okay. Argenta and Heinrichs. Heinrichs can wait.
Greetings.
Even in stillness, Sister Argenta radiates energy with her dark eyes shining and a slight blush to her cheeks. She is reciting a prayer and looks at you only once she has spoken the final line. Okay. I wish for you to leave my entourage and my ship. That's crazy. I am waiting for you to tell me about your past and to explain the strange worlds of the cultists on Footfall.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, Rogue Trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the Sacred Warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Whoa, she is asking for a lot. I'll give it to her. Of course, let us go there right away. Argenta nods gratefully. This is the room I need to give my blood to get into, I think. Argenta drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked on the sweeping signature on the warrant, a seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fool of mine, burn me with flames of fury and righteousness. But if thou seest a light in me, grace me. If thou hearest a plea of mine, bless me with wrath of fury and of righteousness. Argenta's voice is sonorous. Was that like calm and serious or something?
Sonorous.
Having a deep, pleasant sound, as if made for singing hymns and prayers. But right now, she cannot seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotion is she. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to servants of thine, and ruin to foes of thine, a fate of terror and righteousness. If the Emperor speaks like this, it's crazy annoying. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes and remains silent for a long time with her head raised high. Slowly, like the first licks of flame in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. When Argenta finally opens her eyes, they are alight with uncanny resolution. Rogue Trader, we need to talk, or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Valancius' ship and about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. I'm listening. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story, and you'll see why. Argenta pauses. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Eronimus's mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will, in a way. Argenta falters, searching for the words. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salis Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest. A feral world away from convenient warp routes, but for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. Can I can't go into options from here. I've never even heard of such a planet. Does it belong to Von Valancius dynasty? Please continue. Isn't Salis Prime where she had that fight? Please continue. The description of Salis Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend. The legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Her voice grows reverent. Argenta, the living saint, she is my patroness. The order named me after her. She died millennia ago, when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship, which now served as a resting place for the saints' remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts, and suddenly I, myself, named after the saint, come across this information. I realized at the moment that it was a portent. I forgot what that means. A sign that something bad is likely to happen in the future. That I must journey to the planet and find the ship. And so I asked Reverend Euronymous to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salis Prime. Why did you keep your superstition from Reverend Euronymous? Surely he could have helped you with the search for the ship and the saint's remains. I imagine Theodora was thrilled with the prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world, and she took me with her. You mentioned something called the One Star. What is it? Apologies, I got so carried away. I forgot to explain. The One Star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the order Pro-Natus, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the past. So mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography. Hagio? Hagiographic, very admiring of someone and representing the person as perfect or much better than they really are. Hagiography. Hagiography. Let's see. Hagiography. A very admiring book about someone or a description of someone that represents the person as perfect or much better than they really are. Or the activity of writing about someone in this way.
Hagiography.
Hagiography. Where are we? Argenta's hagiography at times calls it a banner, or a set of armor, or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness, and it was lost with Argenta's death. So why did you keep your superstition from Reverend Euronymous? I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was a portent revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Euronymous the honest truth, that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanded me to undertake this trial. If I had found the ship and set forth on its decks, if I had laid my hand on her remains and the relic, it would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed with the saint's favor. Your actions were driven by hubris, Argenta. It's as if you wanted to keep your discovery all to yourself. That's understandable. Searching for your destiny or your place in the world is a special matter, a personal one. You either succeed at it or you don't. That was irresponsible of you. If you had gotten yourself killed on the planet, no one would have learned about its existence and the holy relic would have been lost. If you were the only one who realized that you were dealing with once the planet had been described to you, then this secret was yours and no one else's, as is the decision of what to do about it. Let's say 2. Argenta looks at you, somewhat surprised. I thought that I had been called, that finding the ship was my destiny, my place in the world. Perhaps there's something to that. What happened next? Defeat, Argenta says bitterly. The ship's augers failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know Saint Argenta's hagiography by heart. Hagiography.
Hagiography.
Hagiography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennia-old tales, and I was certain that I had found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. Hagiography. The words we heard in the heretic's shrine on Footfall, something about ways, doors, please, addressed to some lord, the edge of daybreak. Argenta is shaking with disgust. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Salis Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people I had led to the search for the relic, it was only by a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultists on Footfall, the cultists on Salis Prime, the cultists attacking the ship, and Kunrad's betrayal. What if these are all links in the same chain? What if they've long since infiltrated the ranks under von Valancia's servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? Sadly, the only one who might have all the answers, Kunrad, escaped. No need to blame yourself. If the heretics really had wormed their way to the von Valancia's ranks by then, they would have found the planet even without you going there. I am simping hard. So, how did you manage to escape from the cultists? I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Conrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora and supported me in my effort to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine that Vulture must have figured out that it was something important, something related to the holy faith of the Imperium. And what could delight a heretic more than defiling a relic? So how did you manage to escape from the cultists? Argenta hangs her head. Theodora's people received the distress call. I came to my rescue and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened. When they arrived, I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Theodora had urgent matters to take care of, and she decided that she could clear out the planet at a later time. And that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Why did she trust me? Yes, Road Trader. Argenta looks you in the eye. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the arch enemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of the cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, and so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption or the light of righteousness. And what did you find? A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultists on Footfall. Argenta smiles as if reminiscing about a pleasant evening spent in the company of friends rather than a bloody battle. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when you agreed to talk to the orphans at my request. A leader who's willing to honor those who laid down their lives for them. and take care of their children is a leader who inspires trust, and the way you acted in that moment made me so wet. Oh. Do you remember? There was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence. I was blindsided when you said what you did. You sternly told him about the importance of grabbing the reins of one's own fate instead of rushing to console him. Those were brave words, honest. The fact that they were addressed to a thoughtless boy does not diminish their worth. I saw you in a new light in that moment. I'm in there. So just to clarify, you were wounded, so you never found Saint Argenta's ship, is that right? Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to Salus Prime to defend the relic from the heretics. But I was told that the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet, and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort, as if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down servants of the arch enemy. In any event, the route was lost, and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead. The data that we collected in the cultist shrine on Footfall. I don't care what that reprobate we executed said. There must be a way to track them down. Tell me, rogue trader. Will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? I hope it's a weapon that she can use. I feel like this is how we get her artifact. You know what I mean? There is nothing I wouldn't do to reclaim a sacred object for the people of the Imperium. If it's that important to you, I will help. Searching for ancient ships and relics is an exciting prospect. Of course I'll help you. If the accursed Final Dawn is involved again, it is my duty to help you. That cult must be reduced to ashes throughout the entire Cronus expanse. We're simping. If it's important to you, I will help. Argenta walks up and places her hand on your shoulder. So be it, rogue trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. And may the light be with us both on this path. If I get the chance to take her to the chambers, I'm definitely saying it. We are saying it immediately. Let me go talk to her right now. Let me go and talk to this girl right now. Where is she? Doesn't let me walk down there? Interesting. Interesting. Oh, it was paused, that's why. I see.
Lord Captain, your presence is welcome. And I wish to apologize for my prior coldness. After our first meeting, I was concerned that you would turn out to be another faithless offshoot of the von Valancius dynasty, like the traitor Conrad. But now I see before me a worthy leader and servant of the Imperium. I am glad to accompany you in your endeavors.
Sister Argenta greets you with the slightest half bow. Are you ready to tell me more about yourself now?
If such is the rogue trader's wish, although there isn't much I can tell, I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to know?
Where do you hail from?
Now that I can tell you. I come from everywhere and nowhere.
Wow.
I am the child of officers of the Imperial Guard. I was born in the hold of a warship, grew up following my parents' deployments from one planet to another, and lost my family in the flames of a righteous war.
Argenta's eyes darkened for a moment.
My memory is like wafts of smoke over a still battlefield. The gray of a ship's plating, The strict cadence of life in military camps. My mother's uniform. I loved looking at it. Then, that battle. The rumbling, the shouting, and the soot. The screams of soldiers burning alive. And the gold of the regiment's Aquila. Untouched by soot or blood. The last unsullied piece of a world that was going mad.
Argenta absent-mindedly touches the fragment of the golden Aquila hanging from her belt.
That was my last memory of my mother, and of my former life. Before the Sculoprogenium and the novitiate. Before my trials. Before the vows.
A division of the ecclesiarchy responsible for the upbringing, education, training of orphans and those officers and nobles who have died in the service of the Imperium. That golden shard you carry with you.
My own relic. It's the regiment's Aquila. Or rather, the fragment that survived the attack, the explosions, and the fire. For me, it's a reminder that purity and radiance can be preserved, even in the heart of darkness.
And so how did you become one of the Adepta Sororitas?
Become. It's such a strange word for it. It seems right, but is that how one talks about their destiny? If you're asking about the path itself, that's easy enough to answer. First, like many other orphans, I endured the Sculoprogenium. Those years were rough, but I remember the hardship fondly. Few things can compare with the feeling of satisfaction from a past trial, even if it leaves your body aching from exhaustion, or your soul wincing in pain. I was one of the best among my peers, and I was selected for the novitiate in the ranks of the Adepta Sororitas. When the hour came, I passed the trials and took my vows. The most joyous day of my life. The Emperor's light has always been with me. But to accept it with all your heart, to utter the oaths, that is a rapture like no other.
Have you ever wished for a different lot in life?
Have I ever? But that would be shameful weakness, almost heresy. Of course not. I was born for this. I live by the Emperor's will, and in his light, I myself am the light. I must be the light. For myself, and for those who ask for my protection. I was chosen to serve. But beyond that, I won't deny it. Few things elate me as much as the thought that the heretic felled by my shot will never again orphan a child.
Thank you for your candor.
It is my pleasure to be candid.
I would like to discuss Salis Prime and the relic that you want to find.
Of course, my mission is all I can think about.
Remind me, what is our mission? Tell me about Saint Argenta, whose relic you are searching for.
Gladly. Listen. Long ago, there was a blessed world. Thousands of stars covered the sky there, so bright that its denizens hardly knew the darkness of night. Thousands of rivers nurtured the soil. Thousands of gardens bloomed every spring, and at every moment, thousands of prayers were flying into the clear air, thanking and praising the Emperor.
She begins her tale, her eyes half closed and her voice almost singing.
But one day, the people learned the meaning of darkness. Like a storm, accursed heretics who had sold themselves to the archenemy descended upon the planet. Shells flew from the sky that desolated whole cities and burned the gardens and filled the riverbeds with the blood of the faithful. Smoke and soot swallowed the skies and the 1,000 stars that had once shone over the world. Among the handful of survivors was one orphan who had watched all her family die, and the garden she'd grown up in burn to ash. But in her heart, she knew the absolute truth. Just these 3 words. The Emperor protects. And knowing that, she never looked away from the black, terrifying, smoke-covered sky. There were no more bright stars to be seen, except for one. The one star. The bright star. The silver star shone in the sky. And when the orphan smiled at it, the one star fell right into her hands. All the faithful in every corner of the continent who saw the trail of the falling star recognized it as an omen and went looking for the place where it landed. And they rallied together. And with the light of the one star, they found their salvation.
Okay. The girl from the story. That was Saint Argenta?
Yes, that was the beginning of her hagiography. It is known that she lived on a world where heretics staged a terrible insurrection. They wiped out all life on the planet, except those whom Saint Argenta managed to save with the one star, and with the strength of her faith.
So we might get this one star.
After that, she traveled between worlds gripped by turmoil on her ship, marked with a silver star, and brought hope to the faithful. Numerous accounts confirm this. Her coming helped people turn the tide of the war, and wipe away corruption before the Imperium's main forces even arrived. Millions of people owed their lives to her, but the heretics, having realized their imminent defeat, sent the remnants of their forces after the ship with the Silver Star. It fell from the skies onto an obscure world. There are no definitive records of how old Argenta was at the time. In some chronicles, she's even called the Child Saint, but their credibility is questionable. Either way, she didn't live long, but she left a bright trail in her wake, like a falling star.
So what is this one star?
If I only knew. Neither the hagiography nor the legends give a straight answer. Classical iconographers believed that the star turned into a banner woven from silver thread, which, when brought onto the battlefield, would shed light that blinded only heretics, but did no harm to the faithful. Most of them portrayed Saint Argenta as a girl carrying this banner. Others think that upon falling from the sky, the one star became a holy chainsword, which Argenta later used to strike down monsters and enemies of the Imperium. In some of the earlier engravings, Argenta is depicted wearing power armor with a silver star on her chest. One theological theory suggests that this armor was, in fact, the relic. Some even think that the one star is actually the ship on which Argenta traveled. I feel that my undertaking will be fulfilled when I find the answer that has eluded the Ecclesiarchy for millennia. I pray we find the way to Salus Prime soon. The ruinous powers must be aligned against us. They stand in the way of faith.
I feel like all of them could be true, but it's probably the armor. I have no more questions.
One day we will reach Salus Prime and stand before the gates of Saint Argenta's ship. I know it. I believe.
Thank you for this conversation. She may have escaped my invitation today. Okay, so we spoke to her. I do want to go to Janice first. So let me figure out how to do that. So now I should be able to travel to different worlds, yeah? Different star systems. Oh, didn't mean to move. Maybe I need to do it from the ship. Okay, back to bridge. Damn, the tutorial probably told me how to do it. I think I skipped. What's this? No. Not yet. The reflections of the bridge lights are playing on the unlit vid screens of the cogitator. Next to the machine stands a hunched tech priest who bows as you approach, his body nearly folding in half. Lord Captain, the machine spirit of this mechanism slumbers. Should you wish to awaken it, use the key of your blood. Fair enough, we will do that soon. Who do I talk to go to a different star system? Let me see. Our beloved
Lord Captain.
Alright. We'll talk to
Lord
him
Captain.
later. We will get around. We'll probably spend like a whole hour just talking to people on the ship.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
Whoa, I'm not saying that. What does your special sight reveal?
Too many colors. The hues flicker and intersperse, merging into a single wave. It's about to crash. Forgive me, but I cannot satisfy your curiosity at this time. Perhaps later.
The Lady Navigator presses her hands to her head, to her eyes, as if to shield them from the light of a burning star.
I have enjoyed your company.
Get out of here, side chick. So I really don't know how to get to a different planet, a different star system. Let me check tutorial. Do I see anything here? Warp travel. I want to go to Genis. I want to make that decision now. Find out what's happening at the strange ceremony. What's this? Hey, this is it. So now the game's opened up. Jeez. Warp routes. Travel, let's see, let's click this. Travel between systems is fraught with mortal peril and takes place in another dimension known as the warp. Only a navigator can plot a course through the warp to other star systems. Click the circular button at the bottom of the screen to have the ship's navigator chart new routes to the system you have selected. To initiate travel, click on the system. A route's color is indication of its danger level. Green routes are the absolute safest. Yellow routes signal that unpredictable events can occur during jump. Orange routes denote a high probability of the ship coming under attack even in the warp. Red routes are a sure sign that the ship will be assaulted by hostile forces during travel. The navigator can make a route safer by spending points of Navigator's Insight, which can be acquired by discovering and scanning new systems throughout the Cronus Expanse. Navigator's Insight. We need that though. Let me see if I can understand where Janos is. Navica. Hotbed. Dumped cargo. Lost in the void. Right. Can I zoom out? Yo, this is crazy big. What the? Damn. I don't. Oh. Here we go. Free. What does that mean? Scan required. This is an uncharted system. Supply footfall. Store. So what does this free mean? Scan is required. Chart new routes. Focus camera. Chart new routes. Oh my god. Oh, she's doing her drawing thing. Standard scanning could not reveal a route to the selected system, but you can still get there by spending points of Navigator Insight to plot a guaranteed direct path. Click left mouse button on the system to use Navigator Insight to chart the course. Click left mouse button on the system. So like, chart course deadly. Oh my god. And then I've got free, so route difficulty free. Let me do this. Sheesh, this is a bit weird though. So I need to go to Worlds, start scanning everything up, and then I'll get more of these points. Damn, the game is getting crazy, yo. So, with that being said, if I back out of this, we're gonna go to Janice for sure. 100% we're going to Janice. Damn, I didn't want to go back to the bridge. I wanted to go back to the star system. So, outline.
Absolutely not.
What the hell did I press? Cronus Expanse. I just burned all my points. So, back to bridge, void ship marriage. So I basically have to click this to get back into the Ferribunda system. And where am I? I'm over here. So I'm gonna go scan here. Do I need to scan this? Let's hit this. Might end up in a little fight. Lord Captain, we have the flagship Drusus Blessing with a small escort dead ahead. They are requesting a direct Vox channel patching you through. Who is this? Charist Captain Austerius Four fast. The Vox channel clicks, and after a brief pause, a dry, low voice hails you. Greetings, Lord Captain. I am honored to speak with the rogue trader of House Von Valancius. May your name be known through the ages. Chartist Captain Osterius Fourfast, bearer of a free charter of the merchant fleet. How can I be of service? Over now. What is your squadron doing here? We developed supply routes for Chartists. You see, my ship is a representative of the merchant fleet in this part of the Imperium territory. Yet we do not have a fixed charter-defined trade route. Our mission is to establish business contacts with voidfarers in need of regular ship repairs and those who are interested in specialized goods. I want to take a look at the catalog of components available for purchase. What do you want is what I want to know. Void, sorting, cost. Give him a little quick 500. He doesn't want any of that. That's crazy. 300 pirate trophies. I see. I'll give him a little something. Damn, man. So let's take all of what we can. I don't see the downside of not taking this stuff. Give me this. Give me that. Yeah. Alright, so we done. Oh, wait. So these are, this is basically like an NPC, the ship, you know? It's like a person. From where do you source the components you sell? Are you asking me to disclose our supplies to you? Forfast laughs airily. Well, frankly, they come from both everywhere and nowhere. We get our wares either from lucky voidsmen who stumble upon an abandoned or dilapidated ship somewhere in the neighboring system, or from unlucky ones whose sorry tub arrives on footfall in such a state that it's easier to take her apart than to restore her. I would like to know more about the merchant fleet's operation in the Cronus Expanse. For the most part, all the Expanse has is fleets of different organizations and small flotillas of merchant ships. Uninterrupted communication between worlds is a matter of life and death for many outposts of humanity. So even in this dark corner of the Imperium, there are Chartists and ships assigned to various adeptus. Alas, the Expanse has next to no stable trade routes, so the job can be precarious at times. Then again, no one is more intimately familiar with the hardships of local commerce than a rogue trader. Over and out. I don't know what we have here. I guess this is another person to trade with that symbol. I feel like this is like people to talk to. Alright, we'll test. We got a bunch. I should write it down. I should write down what I'm trying to do so I don't forget. My head is hurting. So we want to scan world. Scan world. Check. Scan world for Navi points. All right, I want to test that. Check giant meteor. And then we want to travel to Janus. Yeah, that's what we want to do. Save. 5. Nice.